You ever tried to guess what's going to happen next? We're going to think about that today on Now at Devotions from Trinity Lutheran in Cyrus. So as you can see, we got a good bit of Christmas decorating work done this last Sunday. Folks came and helped after services, and it was just awesome. There were kids helping out and families and some of our older members all together. And in the background, we had some images from one of our Christmas pageants years and years and years ago, many years ago. And I've been thinking about this theme of time quite a bit. Over Advent, the theme that we've got on preaching is going to be reflection. We're thinking about reflection. But our text today for this week and for Sunday is Jesus telling us that nobody knows the time or the hour. Nobody, not even the angels, knows the time or the hour when he's going to come back. So we're in the book of Matthew, it's chapter 13, and Jesus says no one knows the time or the hour. And I think right now, in a time of a lot of unrest, in a time of a lot of division in our nation and in our world right now, it's tempting to look for patterns. It's tempting to try to find meaning in it, as if all these things that are happening that we hear on the news and we hear in the global media, how bad it is and how we should be angry and afraid all the time. We want to link all those things together. We look for a string that goes through all of it, because that's what we do in other parts of our life, right? We look for strings that pass through all the messages that God is giving us. We look through themes on the stuff that folks are telling us in our families and in our lives. And we want these things to make sense. It's a way of putting meaning on what can feel meaningless or frightening or uncontrolled. But as Christians, we are called to do something that is actually quite difficult, and that is to suspend our expectation of things falling apart, and instead to expect Jesus to return at any time. So as you may know, I like to fix stuff, I like to build stuff, and I have fixed up a number of clocks and watches over the years, and I have a thing for a mechanical watch, right? And I still like having a tick-tock clock around for a couple reasons. One reason, it reminds me of the passing of time. I can hear it. Another reason, its time is not immutable. Like on my digital watch or my phone, that time is the same time as everybody else's. It's always right. But a mechanical clock, it's not always right. And sometimes it gets slow. Sometimes it stops. And that's been my experience of time as well, right? We act as if time went in straight lines, but it doesn't. It goes in fits and starts for people. That's just how our world and reality is. When Jesus says, as a Christian, don't get caught up in trying to guess what is next on the scale of the end time. Don't get caught up trying to predict and explain it all, because you're so busy doing that, you miss something else that's very important. What God is doing right now in your life. You miss the people who show up that you could talk to. You miss the time you could spend in relationship with those that you love. You go down that rabbit hole of searching, and instead, maybe rather than being fearful and looking for destruction, maybe Jesus is asking that we be hopeful and expecting redemption. I know I always have fun getting ready for Christmas, and I always have fun getting ready for Advent to come. We've got our Advent wreath out here. Of course, we light one candle each Sunday. And I would encourage you to remember the themes of these candles. They are peace, hope, joy, and love. Not destruction, fear, the end is near, look for signs. No, they are peace, hope, joy, and love. We expect God to save. We expect Jesus to forgive and to love. And until the very last second, we are called to be working for others and to love them, not to be paralyzed with fear staring at the sky. I'm Pastor Chris, signing off for now.